good day, my friends. Welcome back. We are yet again going to experience another Icon final test drive, presentation video, walkthrough of all the glorious details. This truck's really purty. It's a 1954 Chevrolet Thriftmaster 3100. This truck is an old school design package Icon. It is Icon TR number 21. Has tons of cool details and probably one of my all-time favorite color combos. This truck is just so classy, simple and clean. Did a bunch of mashups, which I'll give you a little walk around tour and we'll get into in more detail. But the basics are, we painted a Chevy, a Ford color. Can you believe the audacity? One of my favorite dark blues. It's known as Washington Blue, I believe. Well, I know it was on a 1940 Ford, but I think the first year for it was 37. I'm not sure, somewhere around there. But it's a beautiful two-stage gloss, non-metallic, just a timeless dark blue. And then we've trimmed the interior in this beautiful, like, burgundy wine sort of color, which is a nubuck, so similar to a suede, but it's the A side of the hide with the top skived off and surfaced. It's got really good grip and just beautiful styling to it, and as it ages it'll get really interesting because top surfaces will start to burnish here and there. It's kind of cool. We did a subtle medium gray contrast stitch on the seats as well as other trim details throughout. We did full conventional chrome bright work on this. I mean, it being an old school, it's really the right thing to do, in my opinion. We leather wrapped the steering wheel. Of course, that's on our tilt column that has Morrison joints and a breakaway safety shaft in the engine bay, because the original steering columns were fairly well known for impaling people when they got in a little accident here and there. Not cool. This truck's a bit of an amalgamation of details in the 1947 to 1954 series Chevy trucks. So it is a 54. When we received it, the client already owned the truck. The front clip had been modified to the earlier style horizontal grill bars, which is my personal favorite anyway. But man, we took the truck apart. They did a hack job doing so. So went to the client, we talked and said, all right guys, what do you want to do? Should we go back to 54? Should we stay early style? What do you want? So the end result is a bunch of different things. So we used a 48 style front clip. We kept the one-piece curved windshield that's unique to the 53 54s. We also kept the really lovely 54 dash. In the middle, that would have been a speaker grill, but we converted it so now there's like a micro stainless mesh fit behind the steel, and now that's where 2 out of 4 of your AC vents will funnel air to you. Quite nice. And we 3D print that insert, and they're angled so the air routing works out really nice. The other 2 AC vents are at the very outer ends, just peeking out subtly underneath the dash. Those are powder coated steel. For dash controls, we've got A, L, W, F, V, and T. So A is for audio, and there's a little sub dial for the bass control, and then the principal knob is the principal system volume. That sound system goes through a digital sound processor, and it's Bluetooth dependent, so straight to your phone or tablet or whatever you're going to rock, and then through the digital sound processor, then through to the high-end amps, bass, and speakers. Very nice, and it doesn't interrupt the classic feel. Then the L knob obviously is lights. If you twist it to the left, it'll turn on the dome light, and then it's got a fade function all the way, for dimming details. Wipe and wash, and then fan, vent, and temp. We're running our friends at Vintage Air, the Gen 4 unit, so tons of air volume for this small cabin. That works out really nice. The larger knob under dash that says V, well, that's for the nifty cowl vent. Notorious leakers, and we do everything we can to stop that from occurring. Actually, I haven't had anyone say theirs is leaking, which is good news. And it's actually really nice. You get good natural airflow. So that, and then the wing windows. Wing windows are just damn cool, let's face it. So we generally add wing windows, even if we pick a variant year that did not come with the wing windows. We also use the push button exterior door handles, even on years that would have come with a drop down, because man, they just suck. And then obviously bear claw and internal upgrades in the door to make that stuff all work better. We've got power door locks, we've got power windows with our little gizmos. So tap twice, all windows go down. Tap up twice, all windows go up. Single tap controls each window independent. We got the Hargarten square weave. We did it in a blue to pick up the Washington blue. We selected another Garrett leather for trimming the insulated rubber-backed Dynamat stuffed floor mats. And there's 2 layers of those mats for both soundproofing and for wear and tear and durability. Chrome bright work on the windows, which is such a nice detail on these. Of course, 3-point belts, always 3-point belts. We have a center lap belt. You more astute repeat viewers may notice this does not have the drop-down center console. This client said, I just don't want that. I'd actually prefer the most comfortable 3-passenger bench. So that's what we did. We worked with our buddies at Glide Engineering, and we fit this variant seat in here, which is it's nice. I really like it. But man, I just love this leather. As you can tell, I loved it so much, I made myself a jacket with the leftovers. Yeah, that happened. Gauges, 53, 54 have unique dash, as I mentioned. Same with gauges. They're much larger version of the preceding year models, and on these we went ahead and hand painted the insert rings to coordinate with the tones of the vehicle. And these are part of Dakota's latest series, which have a whole slew of added functionality, from quarter mile time, 0 to 60, check engine light indication, a really nifty LED RPM ring that's subtle and marks the red line for you. They're fully programmable. They are US made. They're good people, and they let me geek out and change their font and indice and colors and stuff, which is really nice value added for our customers, because when we spend all this time with these nifty color and material combinations, it's just so much nicer when we can integrate that thoughtfulness through to the gauges. The wood on this truck, I just love this combination of words. Quarter sawn white oak, one of the most lovely and most classic American hardwoods. Super durable. By quarter sawing it, you get that beautiful veining and cross grain effect. And then we also did, at client's request, and they came out really nice, these lovely cattle guards. So they're furniture grade. There's no screws or exposed metal or hardware. They all anchor into the pockets. They were precision designed and cut specifically for this truck out of the same wood stock for which we used in the bed. And then the runners in the bed are all polished stainless, as is the fuel fill cap. You'll notice the detailing on these cattle guards. Since they're handmade, again, if you're going to do it right. So we radius the edges. There's a lovely chamfer, so there's no splinters or sharp edges to score on your finger. And then you'll notice as it wraps around the back of the cab, we cut out to reflect basically the profile of the rear window. And just nice. I love shit like that. Icon forged wheels. Those are painted in the body color. Ooh, nice VW bus. Clean. Mechanically, of course, we are running the 4-wheel independent Icon Sport chassis made by our friends at Morrison Enterprises. Incredibly refined and polite, beautiful handling. Literally, the tires don't even make a peep. You have to push this truck really hard to get any tire whine or squeal out of it. It just connects immediately, no drama. Tons of power, courtesy of General Motors LS3, aluminum fuel injected 6.2 liters. Wonderful, reliable, easy to service and source parts for motor, one of our all-time favorites. We've put them in hundreds of vehicles. Tranny on this one is the 4L85E 4-speed automatic with overdrive, again from General Motors. The rear end is actually a Dana 60 in a nodular aluminum housing, and then that goes straight to the short shafts and the rest of the independent architecture, running coil over shocks all the way around. We're running the Icon Sport Brembo brakes that are Hydro Boost assisted, so serious brakes for a serious truck. Exhaust is TIG welded stainless steel. It is a dual system. It's 3/4 dump, so it's pretty moderate until you really stomp on it. Otherwise, it's pretty chill. Steering is rack and pinion for really nice car-like precise feel. So that's pretty much my whole story. You know, the fun thing with these Thriftmasters is they're an old farm truck. Very few people have the interest, at least by the time they call us, in something that drives like an old farm truck. So with this sport suspension chassis, I mean, it's basically a highly competent contemporary sports car masquerading as an old farm truck, which is my kind of happy place. Stock ones are fun if you're just going to put it around town. Max speed 50, maybe 55 if you're brave. Steering is like the first waltz when you're drunk. Pretty vague. Brake pedals, not the most responsive thing in the world. So I've always been drawn to classic car styling, but never had the patience for the archaic mechanical. And that's kind of why I started the brand. And I think that the Icon Thriftmaster is a really good example of those priorities. So I'm going to pull over and step outside and take you for a walk around the truck and in the engine bay, and talk about the more glorious details, shall we? Actually, just look at the jacket, but this nubuck leather is super cool. We did the wing windows, like I mentioned. We did the chrome Brightwork surround. We left this vertical pillar black because of the black window tint, or gray, so that your eye really just grabs this chrome bit. As with all the old schools, we did the factory style mirrors, which are dissimilar left and right for visibility, although I really like things symmetrical, but I'll get over it. And our tail lights, which are so beautiful, from Greening Auto Works, friends of ours machine those for us. So inside CNC cut acrylic lens with little pyramid forms. So it makes for these really cool refractions with the tail lighting. It just looks really good. Sometimes we chrome them, sometimes we satin them. Other 54 details, the tailgate is unique. It's a little boxier, it has a little more details. This one's modified, so we have the single push actuator for drop down. We get rid of those horrible chains that beat the piss out of the paint, make a bunch of noise. 2-piece elbows. Same quarter sawn white oak used throughout the bed. 54 rear bumpers are quite unique in that they have this little nook inset. We didn't do our tail lights here, our reverse lights. They don't fit in a 54. The diameter is just a little bit different. Plus, for old school, we want to keep it a little more stealth. I really like this nubuck we did in the interior. And when we do our interiors, we always have to order like 2 extra hides just in case there are imperfections, and so they're all from the same dye lot, so we don't run into any matching problems. Beautiful thing there is it allows me to geek out and make stuff. So I made this jacket out of the leftover hides because the quality in these hides are actually really good. We didn't really have to dodge any scars or anything funky. Lined it in silk, Did blind hardware except for the sleeves. I did the Icon brass for the snap hardware. And it's like super casual and comfortable. It's pretty heavy of a hide, but I think it's going to wear in really nice. And it's just fun to do. You should try it. Got a sewing machine? Got a friend with a sewing machine? Here's a good trick. Go to a thrift store, buy an old short coat, Carhartt, whatever, fits you well. Make some changes if you want. But pop all the seams out, iron it flat, take craft paper, make yourself a pattern. Tweak it and personalize it to your liking. And then, maybe from that same thrift store, old camp blankets, not the acrylic ones, but the wool ones or the cotton ones, or like old Mexican blankets. But my favorite is like the pre-Korean War camp blankets, which you can find on eBay, dime a dozen for like 10 to 150 bucks. You can get into the 300 and 400 if there's some pattern you really fall in love with, whatever. But the standard side classic camp blanket is enough yardage for you to make a jacket. And they're fun because all the patterns and stuff, you can kind of decide how you want to match it or mismatch it. But it's a great way to practice and give it a shot. Try making something. You make a custom jacket that you made yourself, for under 100 bucks. Give it a shot. Let me know if you try it. Send me some pictures. I'd love to see that I inspired you to do something silly. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again next week. Icon4x4.com, Icon4x4 on social media. Old school telephone, 818-280-3333. Is that enough threes? Yeah, I think so. So take care of yourselves. Take care of your friends. Take care of the planet. Be well. See you soon.